Futures and options on futures trading involve substantial risk and is not a suitable investment for all types of investors. Past results are not necessarily indicative of future results. When I use the word I in this video, it refers to what I teach in my charting course or what I author in my twice daily oral and written updates. Prices shown on charts and quote boards are in real time and take into account all known activity up to this point in time. And if you'd like to read more of this disclaimer, simply hit the pause key on your video player.
Good day, all. Ira Epstein with your metals market update, and this is for Thursday, and this is the 15th of November, 2018. We're approaching 4:20 p.m. Central Standard Time. Interesting metal market. Yes, most were in the green today. In fact, the palladium hit all-time highs today. And as you look at what these markets are doing, they're starting to get a very interesting look to them, and I'll show you this in a moment. The interesting part was the dollar was higher, metals were higher, stock market higher. You figure that one out, while the bond market was lower and notes were a little bit higher. When we take a look at gold, what we can say is the market has had a successful retest of the 18-week moving average of closes, and because prices are staying over that number, I'm going to call the bias up. It's only up for the week, $6, but it's up, and it's over that 1209.50 area. And remember, this is a chart of closes only, not the high and low for the week. When you take a look at the daily bar chart, and you see this pattern right here, look at how the market's coming back. But more important, when I put the swing line study on, which to me is all important, you've got a pattern of lower highs, lower lows, but if you take out 1217.20 for the first time in a long time, you're going to get a pattern of higher lows, higher highs. So that is the number that I'll be looking at in the morning. That number is going to coincide right into the resistance zone of the 1220.60, the 100-week average, and the 18-day average at 1223.70. I'll go on record and say if you can close over both those numbers, it gets very interesting because suddenly the bulls grab control of the market. Got it? So this is a battleground area that I'm looking at tomorrow. Bollinger Bands, unless you fall right away at the 1200 level, don't seem to be in play here, either the top or the bottom. I think it's the move into the moving averages that'll be the key. Momentum, if you believe momentum leads price, is saying that the market is ready to challenge and take that zone out. So we'll see if I'm right or wrong, but you are correcting an oversold condition, and to correct it, either go sideways and higher or you embed. You're not embedding, so I would expect to see that. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Same thing in the GLD ETF. If this market can take out 115.06, you suddenly change the pattern as long as you don't go back under today's low to higher lows, higher highs. Now, it's still got to get through that 18-day moving average of closes, which will be the resistance, just the way that this is going to act as resistance. However, if you close over 115.68, the bulls take over the control then of the market, and if the market can do that, you put in target possibly getting back to the 117.67 because momentum is turning up. GDX has done its successful test of the lower Bollinger Band. It still has the pattern of the higher high and lower low. Unlike the other two that I just showed you, I don't see anything here that turns the market bullish. Yes, momentum is pointing up and you're rallying with it. The resistance point is here, but you can't get the higher highs, higher lows out of this market. So it's, to me, not as sexy, quote unquote. The gold-silver ratio is giving what I want. I want a pullback in this ratio if we're going to see a bottom form in the gold, I'm sorry, in the copper, the silver, the platinum, palladium. You're looking for that to happen. As you can see, the silver is giving you a bounce. I don't expect it to be dramatic. I'd like it to get back to 1445 and pause for a moment and rebuild what it looks like. This is still the D silver. It's still got where all the volume is. I was checking today to see. Just remember, we have only 2 more weeks and you're going to have to be out in longs because you can take delivery. So I'll probably go another week and then move to the next contract. Same in the copper. The copper market, if we go to yesterday, we were saying if the market can rally more here, we thought we'd see the 18-day averages resistance. If you get through that, then it becomes the 100-day. The pattern is still one of lower highs, lower lows, unless you take out 277.30. Momentum hadn't done anything here. Momentum has was turned up here. The market went back, challenged the 100-day average. As you can see, it settled in between there. There's nothing on this chart that would suddenly turn me as a chart as bullish. And the reason is, even if you take out 277.30, I have a pattern of a lower low and a higher high. And if I take that out, what you're going to see is this Bollinger Band is going to slip down. I mentioned yesterday, and I'm going to say it again, China is very important here. And the fact that the U.S. appears to be going to hold back on raising tariffs, and President Trump and then Premier Xi meet. Hopefully they do a handshake and agree to get negotiators back to the table. Think of the time of the year, it's going into Christmas for us and so on, but maybe next year there's something. In the meantime, the market's responding positive to that news. In the platinum market, you have the higher high, lower low. I think we were just talking. Market didn't have to go much lower than this area because it's oversold. First resistance back here. These vertical price declines are very hard to work with. The market that has proven it's gone, if you will, the strongest of the metals, that's what I mean by the word gone, is this market. New high for the year today. Over the upper Bollinger Band, and you only stay 5% of the time over that, but you're seeing the importance of this 18-day average. No, we're not trending. We have the lower low, the higher high pattern, and you're over the upper Bollinger Band, and if you take a look, you're overbought. But this market's screaming a story. There must be a shortage of this metal. None of the other metals are acting like this, and the market is telling you it's got strength. We saw that during the summer months. If you remember, coming out of the fall and summers, this market just kept going up, didn't care what the other markets were doing. In the dollar index, I see noise right now. The market's respecting the 18-day average, but I'll give you the warning. If you get under yesterday's low, and yesterday's low in the market was 96.58.5, without taking out this high, you'd get a pattern of lower highs, lower lows potentially into the 18-day average. And if you closed under that 18-day average, because momentum's pointing down, it would probably point down even more. So if the bulls have an area to defend, the 18-day average of closes, that's about all that you can say about that. I want to remind you, if you like day trading, and I'm talking, this is for the in and out, the S&Ps and the Dow and all have been offering wild action, more so than the metals, in all honesty, right now. Well, Pivot Points, the series I've put together, something you should look at. It's a 3-part video series, and I teach you how to set it up. First of all, I teach you what a pivot point is and how it's calculated. You don't need that. Your charting service is going to do it for you. Then I teach you the concepts. And once you get into the concepts, you learn where the center line is, the resistance, support zones, and how to work with it with momentum. Might be something you want, might not. I'm coming out with the Arun indicator, which is not a day trade tool. It's a tool that tells you if a market is in a trend or not, and if it's staying in it or losing it. How do you get first this pivot point? Call us, go to our website, or you can click here, sign up. It'll bring you right to the page you need. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.